a court date for conspiracy to commit treason, giving aid and comfort to the enemy, selling false products, misrepresentation, false and larcenous misrepresentation, deceiving and deceit of the community, and supporting treasonous acts over a protracted period of time, charges that I am leveling against the university or the educational institution called Columbia University here in New York City. And the trial date has been set for the 14th of May, and the indictment has already been handed down. And let me just go over with you now why these charges are relevant charges. Columbia University in the 1980s sold a Bachelor of Science in Political Science major degree to one Barry Shatoro, now known as Barack Hussein, the long-legged Mac Daddy Obama. They sold to him under the influence of Saudi Arabian money being aided by Charles Rangel, Percy Sutton, and Dr. Khalid al-Mansour, who was the go-between and the carrier of the funds to Columbia University to admit into a program and offer a degree to Barry Shatoro, now known as Barack Hussein, the long-legged Mac Daddy Obama, and did so without him having to attend any classes, without him having to write any papers, pass any exams. And we need to review whether or not he took an examination in order to enter into Columbia University. But it can be proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that Barack Hussein, the long-legged Mac Daddy Obama, never, and I repeat, never attended Columbia University. Indeed, what he did do during the years that it would have taken him to complete a political science degree, what he did do was he traveled to Pakistan and entered into an Al-Qaeda terror training camp where he trained there for 2 years in Afghanistan and in Pakistan, long before any of us knew anything about Al-Qaeda or about its terror intents towards America. Obama was participating in that process to cover him, to give him a history, such as where was he at on the night of June the 14th. Obama has been given cover and a history from Columbia University, who states that he entered in 1980 or 1981 and exited in 1983, but he has never been seen by any of Columbia's students within that realm going back to the early 70s or into the mid 80s. No one ever saw, no student of the 4,000 to 10,000 students that Obama should have had contact with, never saw him, never had any interaction with him. No professors ever remember him. Yet Columbia put his name down on the graduation manifesto as a political science major, degreed in political science in the 1983 graduation exercises. Well, we here at the Manning Report intend to prove that Columbia sold that degree, and we want to appeal to all Columbia alumnus and all members and men of well-meaning worldwide. First of all, we want to inform everybody that Columbia now sells, or Columbia is now marketing toilet paper. Their degrees that they issue are nothing more than toilet paper. You can buy them from Columbia. You don't have to do the academics like Barack Hussein Obama. If you got enough money, you can buy a toilet paper degree from the Columbia University. Now, let me just give you a little bit of a background about myself. I attended Union Theological Seminary the exact same years that Barack Hussein, the long-legged Mac Daddy Obama, should have gone to Columbia. I have at present a Columbia University student health and identity card. I was issued a Columbia University student card in conjunction with my alma mater, where I received my master's degree, Union Theological Seminary, the same years that Obama should have received his student card. I will produce my card if Obama can produce his card. Well, I have my card. I also received a Master of Divinity degree in the year 1985 from Union Theological Seminary, which is right across the street from Columbia. But Union Theological Seminary and Columbia University had a joint program of religion, theology, and social work, and issued a joint degree of a master's in social work and a master's in divinity. I did not participate in that program, but Columbia University did issue me a student identity and health card. I have it. I also want you to know that since I've been here in the community, I've been here the years that Obama allegedly, if he had gone to Columbia, I would have met him. I served as the secretary of the Baptist Ministers Conference of Greater New York and vicinity, one of the most powerful African-American organizations in the city of New York and all of its environs. I was his secretary from 1980 until 1992. And everything that happened politically in this community, everything that happened politically in this city, everything that happened religiously, everything that happened academically, college professors, politicians, you name it, all came through the Baptist Ministers Conference of New York and Greater New York and vicinity. I would have known about Obama had he been a member of Columbia University as a student. I would have met him. He was never here. More specifically, nobody in Harlem. Not only can we find absolutely nobody, and Fox News interviewed more than 400 students that would have been in Obama's class or within the purview of him while attending Columbia University. Fox News interviewed 400 students during the primary and was not able to uncover one student that even knew his name during those years or ever saw his face on campus. He never went. Columbia University is selling toilet paper. Obama bought that degree from Columbia University. Had he been here in Harlem, somebody in Harlem would have remembered him, perhaps not then, but they would have remembered once he ran for president and became the alleged president. Somebody in Harlem would have remembered, oh yes, I remember that young man when he was in Harlem, because everybody in Harlem or everybody in Columbia University will have to interact with Harlem some way. I've been a pastor here for a large number of years, and the Columbia Spectator, which is the Columbia newspaper, has written about me on several occasions. They've done a bio on me, a profile on me. The Columbia Spectator have written about me. They've talked about the ministry I've done. They've talked about the work I've done in the community. They've talked about my interaction with other politicians. They've talked about my work here in the church. I'm well known at Columbia University. But not only that, did the Columbia Spectator validate me and validate my ministry, which they could never do for Barack Hussein Obama. I have been the counselor, the advisor, and have held meetings with more than 24 Columbia PhD students, master's degree students, mainly in political science and journalism, who've come to my office week after week to discuss with me and to get my perspective as an advisor and a counselor on their PhD theses or dissertations. I've been very involved in the student body, members of the PhD class of Columbia University, and many of the professors that signed off on my expert testimony or expert information given to PhD students in the Columbia University area. Now, having said all of that, there's more. We understand now that Columbia University, rather than coming and saying we made a grave mistake by issuing that diploma, they're going to fight back. You know the spirit of the White House of Rahm Emanuel and David Axelrod. They're going to fight back. They're going to use the media to try to promote Obama, to try to put together some sort of a lie. But I want to appeal to Mr. Lee Bollinger, who is now the president of Columbia. Don't go down that road. You've already marred, or Columbia